Hello, it's us, and I can see that Lucy is unmuted. I checked before we even started, so hi. You can, indeed. No, you can't, because even though you are unmuted, the default audio has swapped, so that's great. There we go. You are now audible.
Can I make noise now? I can make noise now?
Yes, you are now
Yay.
audible. Okay, so...
He's trying, chat. He's trying any which way he can to silence me.
There is a... let's call it a 50-50. That's basically a coin toss, whether that was Windows doing something, because there has been a Windows update,
yeah,
and picking up the wrong default, or because I changed something on the last stream and I forgot to put it back. That's quite likely. The Humph just subscribed. Thank you very much for the resub. You've been subscribed for 21 months, and you shall not be silenced.
I will not be silenced.
Okay. I don't know. Let's let chat decide. Okay, you're unmuted again.
Chat!
Hi.
Help me. This is no.
What?
This is not fair.
What? Look.
Hello everyone. How
Hi.
are we all?
Yeah, how's everybody doing out there? Are you well? We're here to talk about...
You asked that very aggressively. Are you well?
Are you well? You better be, or else.
Zoop my chair up a bit. Because I feel short.
Yes.
I mean, always.
For a moment you thought the roof behind Lucy was cat ears.
What?
Well,
Cat ears?
it's... I'm assuming from the way you were sat, if you like duck your head down a little bit, you probably get like a couple of little points out the top, and so yeah, I can see it.
There you go, cat ears.
Yeah. That's it's close enough. Yeah. Get you one of those real ultimate gamer cat ear headsets.
Oh, please don't.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But yeah.
But,
how are you?
Hello, everybody. How am I?
Yeah, you. Might as well start there.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's been a Monday.
It has.
Mondays are not my favourite day. So
Yay. So we thought we'd do a podcast at the end of them.
Yes. I mean, that's better than teaching a rowdy 9-year-old.
Yeah. Who, if your mother's watching. As in the 9-year-old's mother, not yours.
Oh, right, I was going to say.
Yeah.
She isn't,
no.
Yes. I don't think she would be somehow. I don't think she's aware of our existence.
Oh
you
no,
have the
Kat,
plague,
you have the plague.
Kat.
No.
Sorry to hear that. That is sad.
Yes.
But yes, hello everybody.
Hello.
Who have we got? We've got everybody. Well, pretty
The
much
gang's all here, more or less.
The gang is all here. And also, yeah, Amorous, enjoy your TTRPG session.
Yeah.
Have fun. Lynn, Parola, Lady Mephistopheles, Andy Pants, Cat. Was that it? I don't know. People are kind of similar colours. I can't really tell if I've said everybody, but anyway,
Good.
hello.
Hello.
Yes. Zoom.
Hello. First time listener, first time commentator. Indeed, welcome.
Welcome in.
We don't have any like weird, awkward initiation rituals when someone's new here. Like, oh, come on in, take a seat. Tell us about yourself. Who are you? Where you're from? Tell us your favourite album, your favourite make of car, and your favourite flavour of tree.
Flavour of tree?
You heard me.
Beach leaves are nice.
Somehow I knew you'd have an answer for that one, but yeah. Okay.
They are.
Part-time druid.
Nice. Yeah, basically. I am Andy and I'm a bookaholic. Yeah.
You need to lay off the bookahole, Andy. It's not good for you.
Bookahole.
Yes.
I like that.
Thanks.
That's good. Flavour of tree is easy. Not 100% sure you can name a car. Name a car, any car.
Simon.
Yes.
Herbie, actually.
Yes, Herbie is the obvious one. Birch sap is nice. See, I'm not the only one.
But you were the first.
Well, yeah, but I have to talk on these things.
Well,
chat don't have to.
You don't have to talk on these things. I can always fix that.
Yeah.
Anyway, now me, the man, I shall take the microphone.
Can we get Can we get an emote that's like me behind bars going help?
I don't know. Let's check with the people that put the emotes on the channel. No.
Who makes the emotes to go on this channel? Oh, actually, both of us.
Yeah, both of us. Continue.
Bugger. Also, hello, Thunder.
Hello.
Welcome.
Good to see you.
Hope you are well.
Yeah, but yeah, chat. How are you? Red and salt, green carp, maple. Okay, I wasn't actually shaking you down for answers, but thank you very much for participating. It's lovely to see you.
I was going to say you should know better.
Yeah, never challenge chat. Chat will rise to the occasion.
Say, chat will take things literally. You live to serve. Well, welcome in. It's very nice to have you here.
Yes, welcome.
But yes.
Oh, music. That's what I've been doing sometimes. I've been...
Oh, the bot thing.
Pretzel Rocks. Yeah, let's do that. I was just thinking it seems rather silent.
Yeah. Is that because you muted me again? No.
Oh, good idea.
Shut up. Stop. I need some kind of retaliatory mute button.
Don't think you do.
Or... Ooh, Lynn is now pink.
Hey. Oh, okay.
Yay. Now everybody is a different colour. Exciting.
What would we like?
Oh, speaking of a different colour, something we've also forgotten to do for this stream.
Oh, the Pride logo.
Yes, we have a Pride logo. We used it religiously in June last year, and then completely forgot this year for every stream we've done in June so far. So apologies.
Should we just have like July be an honorary Pride month instead? Should we just stick it up now and just leave it through July?
Instead, I shall spam our Pride mug. Instead,
I can change that out. Let's do the admin. There we go. Whoop.
Yay! Technical, not difficulties, just like
just fixing stuff on stream.
Just being useless.
Oh, Lynn, yeah. If you genuinely don't have to change your colour, especially to one that you don't like. Like, please pick whatever's best for you.
Also, solidarity in hating pink. I also hate pink.
Having a brain that does literal thinking as the default is fun. Yeah, I can understand that. I've fallen foul of that a lot from the other side as someone who will often just like. I like the enthusiasm.
Hello, Josh.
Hi.
Also, hi, Boodop.
Hello. Oh yeah, sneaking in. Yeah, as someone who I tend, as Lucy can attest, I can be. I hate when guys start talking about, oh, this is the kind of humour that I have. I'm very funny. But you know, I tend to enjoy saying things with a straight face that are absurd or silly, and that kind of thing, which now that I've come into contact with a lot more people on the autism spectrum, I realise what a problem that is for a lot of people, where I'm like saying things like, haha, no, obviously this isn't true, and people unfortunately are going, oh, really? And no, I'm being silly, I'm doing jokes, I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
So sincerely, I apologise for my lack of awareness and consideration on that, and if I
general rule of thumb, don't take anything Sam says seriously.
Pretty much, yeah. Just apart from this statement, don't believe a word that comes out of my mouth.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Budot is currently downloading Diablo 4.
Ooh.
Oh no, not another one of you.
Yeah, join us.
Oh no.
Homophones and metaphorical phrases are very fun because you know what they're supposed to mean, but it's not your first thought. Yeah, that's fair. Also,
I appreciate the t-shirt, Sam.
I was looking for a t-shirt to put on. I was like, oh, I've not actually worn this one yet, so it's thematically appropriate. There we go.
Yeah.
For Scarlet Hollow.
I'm currently enjoying getting beat up as an old man
in Street Fighter 6.
Yes, Street Fighter. There we go. I was like, what?
I was watching you yesterday, Josh, on Adam's stream. Hello. Yeah, on Adam's stream, Seabats, who we've raided a few times, because he was having like an open lobby in Street Fighter. This is way off the subject of books. Sorry.
Sam's gone to games again.
I got kited. And yeah, he had just like an open lobby for viewers to kind of join and just fight, and he was just like spectating fights and sort of commenting on them and stuff. And Josh was doing really well and genuinely reaping a lot of praise for playing very well. So yeah, I would just like to call out and praise and congratulate Josh, the real ultimate gamer among us. Congratulations, good to see you.
Poggers.
Yeah,
I'm other such gamer
That's
things.
yeah. Let's not have that one again.
I am aware. You were gaming. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. True, proper gaming.
Oh, your girlfriend's got you into Diablo Boot Up. Nice.
Hey.
She's doing good work.
Yeah. It's chucking it down as fun because you always imagine Zeus with a bucket throwing buckets of water on people whilst up a ladder. I mean, that checks out. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the Greek gods, that's not far from, you know, the things you hear about them.
Yeah.
Let's mess with humans.
Yep.
You are on a 20-game loss streak.
Oof, nice. Oh, well done for keeping
Anyway,
going.
let's talk about other things that aren't games.
Yeah. What have you been reading?
Me?
Yeah.
On stream or off stream?
Either, really, frankly. We're here to talk about books. If it's a book, or even not a book, we're just talking about video games.
Off stream, I have been reading this.
It is very good. It's all part of being a human.
A human?
A human.
This is very good. That's all. Basically,
good of you, thanks. Would you leave it on Goodreads?
Absolutely.
With a star rating?
As I'm sure many of you will know, because I've probably gone on about it a lot, I like prehistory. Woo! And this is all about the Paleolithic and the Neolithic and all that exciting stuff. I also have a book that I got that for my birthday. I also got this for my birthday last month, which is another one that I am excited to read. It is the Prehistory of Britain in 7 Burials, which is quite cool. And because, as I say, I just jogged my desk rather a lot there.
That's fine.
As I say, I am an absolute prehistory nerd. And my headphone cable is caught.
Yay!
Sam got me this for my birthday, which is really good, and I have been very much enjoying reading this. It is fun and probably isn't showing on camera.
No, it's coming through. Yeah, you're good.
Very, very, very pretty pictures and some very interesting things by a chap called David Abram. At least I assume that's how you pronounce his name.
Probably. And
there's a cool one of Stonehenge in the snow too.
Yeah. Which always reminds me of one of like the early. There's like an early, not opening shot, but like in Game of Thrones, like there's like a bit kind of at the start where they're sort of up beyond the wall and like a party gets assaulted by a bunch of White Walkers and killed, and then like the camera kind of pulls back and there's this display on the ground. It always just reminds me of that. Yeah, just anyway, yeah. It's completely different, but that's just what I think of when I see it. So yeah.
Hey, Zoom Zoom watched all of Time Team. Nice. Time Team is cool. But yeah, so that's the stuff I've been reading.
Nice.
Sort of dipping in between currently being human and the Aerial Atlas.
Yeah.
I also have a book just slightly too far for me to reach right now that is called Wild Drinks and is all sorts of interesting, like it's got fermentation in there. It's got all sorts of fun things that you can do with just various wild plants and things.
Yeah.
What Diana got me for my birthday as well.
Nice.
So it's almost like I like books and people get me books for things.
Yeah. Who knew?
Although I'm surprised I didn't get any of the Discworld series for my birthday this time.
Oh.
That is probably because I didn't ask, but also that's just a general present thing. It's
right.
just like,
Noted.
I need to get through the Discworld. I mean, you know this. You got me 2 last year. I think, or 1.
No, what?
Didn't you get me some?
No, I'm pretty sure that wasn't me.
Oh, Diana did. I don't know. You're both the same. But no.
I couldn't actually tell you what I got you last year. I've completely forgotten. But
oh, this. I'm pointing down at my mouse mat.
Was that?
Was that birthday or Christmas?
No, that was Christmas.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was Christmas.
No idea.
Yeah.
I've no idea. I've lost track of time.
Yeah, same here.
And there's a moth that's distracting me as well.
Oh no! Quick, get the gun.
Wow. Savage.
Yeah.
The Weird Stone of Bresingamen? Okay. I'll look that up.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Nice.
Do people know which ones you don't have? Yes, because I'm going through them in order. like an absolute masochist.
Right. Okay.
I'm on, I want to say 11 or 12 now. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, you probably spelled it. I wouldn't know, Thunder. It's fine.
No. Yeah, you're good.
You need
Don't
to
worry.
apologise.
Yeah.
Your reading lately has mostly been us reading. Listen to old streams. Nice. Frankenstein, all sorts of stuff. Nice. Oh, so fun Frankenstein thing. But I can't remember if I've actually told you, Sam. My dad does this thing that I'm pretty sure I must have said on this stream at some point, but he does this thing where he reads through alphabetically by author, and then he gets to Z and he starts again. So, for example, he'll try and read like an author with A, and then the nearest letter being the second one to A, so like A, B, A, C, whatever. Anyway, an author with the surname starts like that. And then he'll get all the way through to Z, and then he'll go back. So he was on SH, and of course he decided to read Frankenstein. And the only copy he could find was my copy, which has got several thousand very sassy annotations in it.
Great. Okay.
He finished reading it. He was like, oh no, he got like 3/4 of the way through, and he goes, yeah. So I've got to the point where I think you got bored. I was like, because I studied it for A level, and that's just the copy that I've always had.
Yeah.
So yeah, he said, you don't like Frankenstein the character very much. I was like, no. How did you guess? It was like lots of very sassy notation in the margins. So I liked the fact that he enjoyed those.
Yeah,
annotated books are fantastic, fun to read. You've just bought the Iliad and Odyssey. Oh, that'll keep you occupied for a while.
I've not read the Iliad. I did read the Odyssey back in sixth form just for fun.
Oh, nice. I have read neither.
No. Shan't spoil it. In part because I can only remember a few details.
Yeah. What have you been reading?
Pretty well. Actually, no. I was going to say pretty much exclusively on stream. That's not entirely true. On stream, it has been 3 Men in a Boat.
Yes.
Which has been very enjoyable.
Oh. It's so good.
So
my favorite phrase from the last one you did was what was it? Something along the lines of as we came closer, we noticed George's jacket, and on closer inspection, George.
Oh yeah.
George inside it was like, I love sentences like that.
Yeah.
Just lead you one way and there's, I see.
I have to find it now because that was like towards the end of
You had to read Iliad, Odyssey, and the Aeneid in high school. Is it Aeneid? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, I guess Aeneid would be my guess. Yeah. That was it. The lock was just opposite the town, and the first thing we saw when we came into view of it was George's blazer on one of the lock gates. Closer inspection showing that George was inside it. Is
so good.
Yeah, there's a lot of that kind of. We'll describe one thing and then finish the thought.
Aeneid. Cool.
Okay.
Tar.
But yeah, I'm very much enjoying this. It's very readable. It's very silly.
So good.
It's
actually really nice that we're doing a comedy.
Yeah, exactly. That's
we haven't done one yet.
We've done stuff that's funny, like again, like the Voltaire.
Oh, Canterville Ghost.
The Voltaire.
Yes.
Micromegas. Which I found very funny, and in again a very dry, sarcastic kind of way. It's written and presented very straight, very sort of severe and serious, and like intellectual people having highbrow discussions. And this one is so big, and these ones are also so literally big, not just like powerful, but actually like able to pick up a planet in their hand. Big. It's silly. And then you just start to think about the actual subject matter that they're discussing, and it's very silly, it's very funny, and it's sort of skewering these kinds of power structures and people who think very, very much of themselves. Which I enjoyed that a lot, and that kind of gave me a taste for I want to do some more stuff that's a bit funny. Which is why I was like, well then I'm gonna have to do this because it comes highly recommended from your dad,
And so my dad has a very good sense of humour when it comes to literature.
Yeah.
And just in general.
Yeah. Checks out.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Just finished Les Mis. Ooh, fun. Have you got past the sewer bit yet?
I just want to play that video from yesterday.
Oh, that was so good.
The one that I put on the Discord in case anyone's
Jukebox Les Mis.
If Les Mis was a jukebox musical.
Got me. It was the
jump.
The jump for what's his face, for Javert. Yeah, that got me. And then empty chairs, empty tables. Lonely, I'm Mr. Lonely. Oh, it's very good. Very good. Anyway.
Yeah, so this is like the main thing I've been reading here. I want to kind of come back around to actually discuss stuff on this. Which is good. I'm glad. I was hoping you would enjoy it as well, because as I said in the thing, I get about 30% of these because I've never watched Les Mis in any form or read it, obviously, and so I kind of get the rough idea because I know kind of a few of the story beats, but it's like this is going to go well for people that actually know this stuff, and I'm glad it did. So yeah.
Also, hello Llama. Hope you're well. Also, what have you done?
Oh, have you made us an emote or a picture?
No.
I shan't click away because I might hit something and close a window somewhere, but I shall let you look. What else? Yeah, I've been reading some other stuff on Kindle as well. There was what I guess has I'm gonna say it because I take great delight in it. There was what was known recently, I suppose, as the Biggest Dickus event, where, and I shall explain.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone coming in, don't worry, it's not as absurd and obscene as it sounds. So on Twitter recently, there was a tweet that went viral of someone under their Twitter account under the hilarious username Biggest Dickus, a reference to Biggest Dickus, that's the one. It is that, yeah, Biggest Dickus Wolfwood. Thank you. Sorry, yes, because both in reference to Monty Python, the one that
Life of Brian.
Life of Brian, that's the one. Thank you. That, and I believe Nicholas Pickles, I think, is it's the stage name of some entertainer. Am I reading This Is How to Lose the Time War? Yes, it is. Or is it This Is How You Lose the Time War? Just checking. Yes, This Is How You Lose the Time War. Basically, someone with an absurd and slightly obscene username on Twitter was just singing the praise of this book that was available very cheaply on Kindle, called This Is How You Lose the Time War. And it was essentially, do not read anything about this book, just go and read this book. It's like $2.50, just go buy it and read it. And this combination of just effusive praise and an absurd account sort of took it off and made it go viral, and everyone's latched onto it, and it shot the book to the top of Amazon sales charts and stuff. And so I was like, yeah, sure. I picked that up and started reading it. I am about a third of the way through it. I'm sort of slowly making my way. No. We have to through it. Yeah, I can see that it's a good book. I think, and I think I talked to you a little bit about this, Lucy, that there are times when I particularly struggle with metaphor sometimes in books, when and someone who reads a lot of sci-fi, it comes up a lot in sort of some of the sci-fi that I read, where I sometimes need the author to be a little bit more specific about what they're talking about when they're describing scenes and colours and things. It's like, wait, hang on, are you being symbolic, or is this literal? Because you've you're
being symbolic here.
Yeah, oi mate, is this a load of symbolics? And me personally, I can kind of get a little bit lost and confused sometimes, and that's just a me thing that I've come to realise with how I process some stuff that I'm reading. There's been other books as well that I've read that's like, this is really, really great, but I don't think it's written for me, because I'm personally struggling with some of the stuff that's here in terms of I almost want to say like having like a perspective on it, and like, where am I, the reader, placed in this scene? Is this literal someone actually seeing the things that they're describing in some sense, or is it like a description, like a stream of consciousness kind of thing, of like thoughts and colours and sensations, and how best they can process them? And sometimes I just need it to be a little bit more explicit. But yeah, it's good, and yeah, I would recommend it as well.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's kind of the main other thing that I've been reading. I do have a few other books that I intend to read.
You've got Cat Out of Hell still on the go.
I do still have that on the go. I've got...
For anyone who wants to read that, it is very good, by Lynn Truss, not Liz, Lynn Truss, who is a fantastic writer. She does a lot of writing for radio, and it is a very silly book, and it is very fun. And yeah, Cat Out of Hell, it's called.
Yes.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think
Also, hello, Zulu?
Zulu. Yeah.
Zulu.
And welcome, yes.
Well.
Yeah, so that was...
Lynn Truss of Eats, Shoots and Leaves. Yes, that Lynn Truss.
Yeah,
Sorry.
this is How You Lose the Time Warp by the Amal El Motar and Max Gladstone.
Nice.
And yeah, it's from like the perspective... again, not going to go too much into it. It's from the perspective of two different characters who are like, I guess, warring with each other across time is a brief way of how to describe it. And like they're missives back and forth to each other. But yeah, it's good.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got so many other things, like two Adam Roberts, Purgatory Mount and The This, which The This kind of written, as far as I can tell, on almost a dare, because someone was like, all Adam Roberts books are called things like The This, and they're about the deepest and most meaningful subject you can imagine. He was like, let's do this, and did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also want to read the Southern Reach trilogy. I've got the first one of those, Annihilation, which I mean to get round to.
Yes.
And yes, Cat Out of Hell. So many others.
Yeah. I still need to finish reading the first of the Earthsea Chronicles.
Oh yeah, I need to read those at some point. I really should read some Ursula Le Guin.
Yeah.
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 Have you started it, or?
I have started it.
Okay.
And did not. Well, I have continued it. I just now I've picked up other books, which is dangerous because I'm not the kind of person who can have lots of books on the go. I need to kind of just blitz through one.
Yeah.
But actually, I do need to finish Earthsea because I need to give it back to Diana.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I also have Dune to read. Nice short one.
I was going to say just a couple of leaflets then to get through. Sure.
Yeah, exactly. And The Lies of Locke Lamora, which
another long book. Yeah. Okay.
I'm like, it's not that bad. It's like that. Dune's like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Dune is a tome.
Yes, it is indeed.
Yeah. That's in Thunder. You remember getting really angry with English lit as a concept at school because of the curtains are blue thing supposedly symbolising sadness, etc., because it makes no sense to you, because the curtains are blue to me is nothing more or less than the colour. Yeah, exactly. I struggle with that so much in English lit. More like applied to poetry and things where you
poetry. I feel like, if I may interject, I feel like English teachers have far too much fun.
Yeah.
And this is also coming from me having a mother who did English at university and loves this kind of stuff. Like she adores like taking a poem and going, right, let's see how much I can read into this.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, I also do quite enjoy. But there comes a point where you have to sort of step back and go, yeah, I know this is all kind of me.
Yeah.
This is not what the poet meant at all.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Like past a point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so past the point, you kind of have to go, or because they liked the word.
Yeah, exactly.
Not because they've sat there and they've thought, oh, okay, so the next line, what I need to do here is deploy assonance and onomatopoeia, I think, to really heighten the point that I'm trying to drive home about the plight of this particular character. No, they've gone, ooh, that's nice. Yeah, and written that down. That's that is what I suspect.
Poetry is just vibes.
Yeah. And yeah, and when you get down to the real deep, like you say, the curtains are blue. Okay, the curtains are blue. But that means that people are sad. Does it now? It might. They might just also, I don't know, they might also be drawing on a personal memory of a particular scene. That's another possibility. Yep. Unless the author has themselves stated, this is what this means. Yeah, I've always kind of gotten frustrated with that kind of thing. Because, it sort of feels like, it feels like wine tasting. Kind of, yeah. Are you just making work for yourself, though? Are you trying to perhaps make yourself feel a little bit more important and kind of higher up in the social hierarchy than actually... I'm not knocking the poetry. The poetry's good. But I think perhaps we overanalyze these things to try and elevate it beyond perhaps even, I don't know. It's... Yeah. Wow, the birds are loud at yours.
Sorry, there was a...
No, don't apologise, it's lovely.
I think very loud, either robin or... No, that's not a robin.
Yeah.
I think that might be a blackbird.
Probably
sitting on the telegraph pole that's just outside my window, being loud.
There's a music theory YouTuber you watch who does so it does analyses of different songs and reading super deep into little details and stuff like that, which you find fascinating, but they're very upfront about the fact that this is the analysis and may or may not have anything to do with what the artist actually meant with any particular bit. So, I mean, if I may, what that makes me think of.
Classical, or are we talking not?
I mean, my personal example of that comes back to years ago, probably a good 15, 20 years ago. I used to... I used to listen to a lot of Radiohead, and I haven't recently, but, whatever. Used to listen to a lot of Radiohead, and I would go on, songmeanings.net. I think it's still around, which was a lyrics site, but kind of with the remit of analysis and discussion of songs, going through the lyrics and be like, ooh, what do they mean by these lines? And just trying to really analyze and draw out the marrow of the deep and meaningful thoughts behind all these lyrics. Radiohead, who a number of times will just take a bunch of lines, cut them up, Dadaist style, pull them out, assemble them and go, yo, that's a song. All right, let's put some tunes over it. Sick, good work. And the one that I always remember is, I say, forgetting the title of the song. Because their songs are usually not named something that directly correlates to the actual lyrics. But there's a line in one of the songs that is, like candles in the city, it never looks so pretty. Someone on the site had misheard this as, like cows in the city, it never looks so pretty. And was trying to analyze and discuss, what's the meaning of this line, this image of these cows in a city, and then someone underneath was like, it's candles.
It's candles,
and I was like, oh, right. But it's still an interesting thought, though. And that for me just sort of encapsulates the whole thing of I have misheard this line. I'm going to launch into a long and deep and considered, detailed analysis of what... I'm sorry? But I'm still right, though. And it's
yeah.
Again, we're back on media literacy, aren't we?
We are. We always are.
Us.
We never leave.
No. Oh dear. But that's it's important. It is important. It is good. It is useful. It is valuable and valid. But also, please remain aware of what you're discussing. Actually keep a sense of, hey, back to the title, perspective on the subject matter, and actually,
I feel like. Yes, I agree, but also I feel like there's usually no harm in overanalyzing things in a kind of, especially again, coming from a musical background, it ends up teaching you a lot more about how you would construct something, either just anything creative. It's analyzing a piece of art, for example. It's looking at the brushstrokes, looking at why they use this particular color, and then realizing things like for example, they're not using black for shadows. They are using a color that yeah, just like color values and all of that kind of stuff. It's like actually analyzing, and then you end up learning things. You don't necessarily learn anything about the person who either wrote, composed, drew, painted, whatever the thing, but you do end up learning a lot about methods of how to put something together. And I think and also what you like as well. It's like in poetry, it's just like, why am I not vibing with this? And then you actually analyze it and you're like, this is what I feel like I would have done differently, or this is what I feel like I would like from a poem, and this poem isn't necessarily providing that.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing. That's where coming back to English lit, the classic like English lit poetry study. I think for me, like the important stuff there is going through and being like, okay, the reason these lines hit hard is because they've done this and this and this. They've like these are the techniques they have used that are present in this line. They have alliterated along this line, and that's why it has this like this punchy feeling. It's like while you're reading, it's like bam, 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 bam. Like this particular line works and flows and hits, and it's like the rhythm and the meter they've used to do that to like set you up for your expectations, and then but it's it's kind of unseated those expectations by giving you something different, and that's what they've done. That was the intent, yes, but I feel like sometimes it can go too far, and where they've probably just gone, oh no, I just want to use this word. I like this word. I like the way it feels and sounds, and put that in. And they've not. Yeah. It's like you're coming at it from the wrong end. It's like you're looking at the finished product and gone, how have they kind of assuming that the product's popped into their mind fully formed, whereas they had to start from the beginning with a blank sheet of paper and construct it that way instead. And you've got an idea of what you want to say, but you write it as you go along. You don't have the full poem in your head from the start, and like, I shall do this.
Well, there are some people who do.
Yeah.
I think. And also then there's also editing as well, and people who do. I mean, the vast majority of writers edit their stuff or have someone to edit. Like what you read won't be the first draft. So going back, and I know in my writing have definitely had moments of, how do I want to convey this specific thing? What language can I use to make my readers either feel a certain way, or like if you're foreshadowing something, but you're doing it like really subtly, you're putting just little tiny breadcrumbs in that someone will read and just read it, and then something later on will happen, and they'll go, oh wait, I get it now, and that kind of thing like that. But that's prose, which is a bit different from poetry. I feel, because poetry, like prose, you get a little bit more of a sort of wider lens, as it were. You have a little bit more, like, I don't think people, well, unless you're like Ulysses or something, but people don't do really, really close readings of prose. Certainly not as much as they do of poetry. Which I mean, it's just like, how much time do people have to analyze things, and they're going to take more time analyzing a smaller thing than they are a massive thing. So
and so have English teachers collectively pulled one over on us, and analysis of works are really just creative exercises? And the answer, there's nothing wrong with creative exercises. Exactly. And like that's the thing. Like, when I'm not saying that, to be clear, at no point am I saying like this is a waste of time and they're teaching nonsense. Not at all. Like it is a valuable exercise. I just think that the approach to it sometimes can feel a little bit wrong, and like it's almost at times a little bit teaching the wrong lesson with the right methods. Almost, I feel like it is absolutely like you're saying, like you having this understanding, having these tools enables you to look through, like taking poetry as a specific example, enables you to look through poems and go, I like this one. Okay, why do I like this? What line, what couplet in this do I particularly enjoy, and why? Oh, it's because it does this. It has these things that I like. Like there is a particularly nice flow and rhythm to this bit, and it wouldn't work another way. Okay, good. I like that. You go and read another poem. Not so sure about this one. Why is that? Oh, because it's either it doesn't have something that you like, or it's doing things that you don't like. And these are tools. These are useful implements to actually like dismantle the things that you appreciate and find more. You can go back around to music and talk about that if you'd like, because You know, that's
Yeah, I mean, I think it entirely depends on how you're consuming
yeah,
media. If you're consuming it as like a listener, a reader, just someone who is casually, not saying that people who are like casually reading a poem or something can't look for meaning, but just there's a different approach there. If you're analyzing something to learn, then you have, well, you don't have to, but like that is where you do the more in-depth reading, and that is when you do the stuff that isn't necessarily a do I like this, why do I like this, why do I not, but is just a how is this like actually constructed, and what was the intent. But I was just gonna say I agree like with Andy saying the problem comes when they try to say there's this one particular reading that the author intended, rather than focusing on what effect it has regardless of intent. Yes, but the counter to that is if you know enough about the context of the work, and the person doing it, writing or painting or whatever, then there is, I feel like there is enough sort of informed inference that you can take, that will mean that you go, I'm pretty sure this is what this person intended, and that is why they made this decision, and that is good as well. Like that teaches you a lot about the person, but also a lot about how their brain worked, in that they went from this is what I intend and this is how I'm going to put it into my work, and how other people are hopefully going to interpret it in the same way, because they wouldn't necessarily be thinking that people would be reading, listening to, looking at their work from exactly the same perspective as them, with exactly the same context. So it's just like, how did they get to that point? It's all quite interesting. I'm coming from both a literary and a musical perspective, and I feel like in music there are enough, and in literary stuff as well, I guess, but in music it's a little bit more immediate. There are enough kind of shorthand ways of putting something across that, like, for example, if someone's got a minor chord and you're in a kind of Western tonal world, someone can say that's meant to sound sad. If, for example, it is a song and the lyrics are also sad. Like it's fairly, like, it's a lot easier to kind of convey these things. Whereas with literature, for example, if you've got someone writing a poem and they're, I don't know, talking about rain, someone could say, oh, that means sad, rain is bad, rain is sad, rain is depressing, and all of that kind of stuff. Is like, not necessarily. This person might have absolutely loved the rain. So I feel like with literary stuff there's a lot more room for error when it comes to that. So I think it's dangerous automatically assuming things.
It feels like it, broad stroke statement, but it feels like it should always be treated as a conversation. Like, here is what
give me rain.
Like, here is what we know the author, like, from interviews, from analysis presented from comments made by the authors, like, here is what we know the author meant from their own words, and like at one end, and then down at the other end it's like, and here's what it means to you, the reader. Like, here's your own reaction in relation to it, and then you have this big whole space in between where these two ideas can like clash and get at each other. And, you know, some authors, as the earlier sort of backup in chat with John Lennon, and sort of getting teachers getting students to analyze, like, I'm the walrus, and come up with meanings, and him going, nah, it's just nonsense, mate. And that's not to invalidate the meanings that students come to. Like, that's again, that is art of any kind of creative pursuit is essentially an expression of an idea, and that idea can be clear and crystallized and singular. It can be like a single sentence thought that you're trying to communicate through music, or it can be a sequence of vibes, or it can be a series of non-vibes. You know, let's discuss Dadaism as a movement again. You know, so there's within that there's so many different approaches and attitudes that you can come to, and it feels like it should be a conversation. It should be like, here's what I think, and here's what the person that created this thinks. how do these mesh? How do these collide? How do they differ? How have I reached this conclusion? It's not about being right or wrong. You're not trying to solve art, and
No.
it's not like a puzzle box that you crack open and then in the middle, glowing for only you to see, is the author's true intent, and you have solved the puzzle and you get your S rank and top score, and you go on top of the leaderboard for being the best at understanding art. It's not like that. It's like, what do I take from this?
Yeah.
And
but it's like what Lama's saying there, like, that's the death of the author problem. English teachers seem to, like, it's like, and Lady Mephistopheles saying that's why it sucks in exams. Is like, yes, we are taught to do things a certain way. We are taught to interpret things in a way that the person who is teaching us has interpreted them, or the kind of like, this is what is generally thought of as an interpretation of this work.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the wrong message, and that means that anything else is wrong, and this one way is right, and it's just I get a bit when it comes to exams with that regard. I just it's the same again. Music. Sorry.
I think you might have a dead pixel on your camera.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Where am I looking?
Just.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like around here somewhere.
Yeah, right there. Now that I pointed that out, everyone's going to see it. But I don't know. Seems quite large for a single pixel, maybe, but I'm not sure.
It's not something on my lens, is it?
I couldn't tell you. But yeah.
Interesting. Great.
Yeah.
Just
it's
what
less,
I need.
I think it's a little bit less visible on stream than it is for me, but yeah. Sorry.
Oh no.
Oh no, now you'll see it.
No.
Tell you what, I'll put something over it. There you go. Now you. Oh damn it! That goes underneath. Arse.
Well.
Oh no! I've got to put that.
My white balance up.
There we go. That's back in place now.
But, also, hello, Arian.
Hello. You may recognise the T-shirt. Someone cool sent it to me.
Yeah. That's the wrong way.
Oh no.
Brightness. Ta-da! There we go.
One of the best teachers you had when you were analysing and stuff like that. The whole thing was you can argue whatever you want about this text just as long as you can support it with citations from the material. Exactly. That's That's really where it should be. It's like, this is what I feel. This is what I get from this, and here's why. And here's my analysis, and essentially, present your argument. Here's why. And someone else can have a completely different read of a thing, and you can then compare that back to the author and be like, oh, and here's what they intended it to be. Okay, cool. And you learn something. It's not about winning.
Yeah.
Which, you did notice? Yeah. Nice. And it is Death of the Author, yes. Which, sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. No. Death of the Author, which I think often gets misinterpreted as, and so we can just dismiss everything the author says, or the author doesn't matter. It's as the internet will do.
Oh, it is.
I know.
Sorry.
No, I'm just myself becoming aware of the irony in people misinterpreting Death of the Author as a concept. And it's like, but that's not what the person who came up with the idea of Death of the Author intended. Well, okay, you got me there. Well done. I mean, I've never actually read the full paper myself, so even I'm most likely wrong or drastically paraphrasing.
No such thing as nuance on the internet, though.
No, none at all. But
speaking of authors.
Oh yeah.
You were going to say something about Thingy, weren't you? Three Men in a Boat.
I was, yeah. I guess to get onto tonight's subject fully 50 minutes into the stream.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like all of this has been about perspective.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like on. Like the thing that I kind of wanted to bring up, because I just found it interesting and sort of became aware of while reading this, is that, like, essentially all three characters who it is written about, which is Jerome, Harris, and George. Yeah, George. Yeah. Are, like, all three of them kind of... They're all just kind of jerks. They're hypocrites, they're lazy, they're work shy, like a lot of very shorthand bad person traits they all exhibit. And it's interesting to me that, like, the character from whose perspective it is written, the narrator, your author, is the author of the book, is Jerome. He's not invented another character. He's not, like, come up with, and James, or, or Steve. It's Jerome. It is himself. And to kind of insert himself as one of these unlikable characters is, I mean, I'm not presenting it as, oh, it's so new and original and innovative, but it's interesting to me the effect that has on your relation to this character. That I'm trying to assemble the threads of thought now in my head, because I had it the other day when I was like ready to drop a TED talk on it, and now that I'm here, I'm like, I can't think of a single thing. But like, I don't know, it's it being from his perspective, but
do we need a buffering?
Yeah, we might do.
We should do a buffering emote.
Oh, okay, yeah, we should do that.
Buffering emote with like tiny books.
Good distraction. I'll get on it right now. No, it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. For me at least, I find it interesting how that affects my relation to this person. That, because that's it. It is first and foremost obviously a work of fiction. Like the introduction at the start is like, it's absolutely true, which tells you no, it's not. I'm just trying to find it now by how he puts it, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to fail. But it is presented as facts. As in the simple truthfulness. Its pages form a record of events that really happened, and it's like, no, that's probably not true, is it? I don't actually think that Jerome, Harris, and George genuinely took this trip, and these were the events that took place upon it. He has made a sort of a facade, a character to write about that is called Jerome and presented as himself, but it is not him. And yet this character is presented as just as oafish and conceited and as bad, in short, as the others. I don't know. I again, annoyingly, I feel like I had like a whole talk on this ready to go, and it's just left me. So if you have any thoughts, do please feel free to come in.
I don't know. I feel like it's of that kind of genre that is. It's this kind of, I guess it's the sort of very English self-deprecating humor.
Yeah.
But it's this kind of loving caricature of either oneself or people the author knows, or people the author doesn't know and has just made up. But it feels a bit like a cautionary tale, and in deliberately not a particularly flattering light for him. It's just like, don't listen to me. I am a very unreliable narrator. It's playing on the unreliable narrator thing, but in a much gentler way.
Yeah.
That I think that I particularly like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And with humor as well. Like it's.
Yeah.
I mean, always with something that is very obviously a comedy, there is obviously going to be a little bit of a level of a layer of my brain's just gone.
Right.
Oh God, suspension of disbelief.
Yes.
There we
go.
Yeah. Because obviously, in order to write good comedy, not everything can be completely realistic. Like there's got to be a little bit of sort of hyperbole, and there's got to be a little bit of things being just a tad over the top.
Yeah.
In order for things to really especially in this kind of genre of comedy where it's just like, these people are idiots and they're doing silly things and things are going wrong. So I feel like him sort of making himself out to be this fool, you have to take with a little bit of a pinch of salt anyway, but it's done in, as I say, quite a gentle way, which is nice.
Because it's like it's the fact that it's not like the other two are like he himself, Jerome, in the character in the book, presents the other two as worse than him. Every noble and virtuous flaw that he exhibits, they are to him the opposite and worse. And yet, through the text that he is also writing, he conveys that he is every bit as bad as them. Like he does every single thing that they do that he doesn't like that they do. But will tell you that he's doing it, but when he does it, it's okay. And that's, I don't know, it's just, it's interesting and it's fun to me how I feel like under a lot of circumstances, if you were tethered to a character this just straight up hypocritical and, broadly speaking, kind of unlikable, you'd kind of reject it and be like, I'm not really liking this. But I think for me, kind of the fact that it's an author self-insert, but kind of an unlikable author self-insert, but not so unlikable that you detest him. You just kind of, mate, can't you see? It brings it back around to funny, and he's poking fun at himself, but not really himself, just a fictionalized version of himself.
Or a younger version of himself.
Yeah, true, actually.
I think that's a big part of it as well. It's like, it is the folly of youth. It is a bunch of guys who think they know everything. And think, like, obviously him writing this is just like, oh, I wrote this, and my opinion, therefore, as the author, is the important one. But it feels like he's writing it from him as a younger guy who, bless him, thinks he knows everything and absolutely doesn't. And it's just... I don't know. It just feels like a bit of a cautionary tale, but in a funny way, in a nice way. And obviously, the fact that it's a self-insert, I think, is, it does make the character a lot more likable, because there is always that kind of Mary Sue trope of, oh, you've just put yourself in this and made yourself perfect, have superpowers, why? And then immediately your brain just goes, no.
Well, yes, I love kind of the subversion of that, in that it's a self-insert who himself thinks he's amazing and perfect and wonderful.
Yes.
And you can see is absolutely not. Like, that's a fun way to do that. To be like, this is me and I'm so great and everyone around me is terrible. Written by myself, and you're like,
yes,
okay, it's
there's a lot of knowledge of how being a hypocrite works, and again, I don't know, I feel like that's a very, I don't want to get all nationalistic with this, but I feel it's a very English thing. It's a very kind of it's the
we like to do
humor.
that.
It's the tongue-in-cheek humor of, I know what I'm doing here. And I'm trusting my readers. And that's another thing, is like, you are trusting the reader to infer all of these things that if you read 3 Men in a Boat completely straight, you'd just be like, oh, this guy's an arse. Why? Oh, I don't like this author. It's rubbish. But when you realize that, of course, he's making fun of himself because he's writing himself like this. Like, it's several layers. And I feel like, layers to the irony. Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's that is a very,
we love us some flawed protagonists.
English. We do. But also, it's the kind of the sarcasm and the satire of yourself. And also, like, of your own writing. The fact that he keeps on going off on tangents as well is just like, oh, I must tell you this is an important story. And it's just like, no, he absolutely knows that we, as the reader, are going to get infuriated with the fact that he needs to get back to the damn story.
Well, it's when I finished the other night, and you're like, how far, how far have they got? How far through are we? Like, we will be starting chapter 10 There are 19, like on the next stream, there are 19 chapters in total. We're basically halfway through, and they've just about got to the end of the first day of boating. Yeah. So, like...
And they've only just picked up George.
Yeah.
It's just like...
They are an absolute disaster party, narrator included, and it's just very good. I am enjoying it.
Beautiful and wonderful and very silly.
Yeah.
French literature does that sort of self-reflection, but makes it super sad and depressing. Sounds like Russian literature too.
I mean, I feel like we do that as well, but that's I
don't feel like we do the introspection. I feel like we just do the sad and depressing without the kind
That's true, yeah.
Looking inwards and kind of,
Yeah.
I feel like, again, sort of classic example being Hardy. It's just like, oh, everything's miserable and everybody's depressed and everybody's jilted in love and it's all very dramatic. And it's just like, great. And not Jane Eyre, not an author, Lucy, the Brontes. I'm not a big fan. Wuthering Heights being the one that is very kind of going for the melodrama, sad, depressing vibes, but I feel like without the knowledge that it's melodramatic, it's just like, this is just good drama. And it's like, no, this is almost absurdly over the top. No. Which, I mean, for people who enjoy Wuthering Heights, absolutely enjoy Wuthering Heights. I'm not saying that it's necessarily a bad book. It's just, I had to read it so many times. And also I just don't like any of the characters. And again, that's because it feels like they don't have a lot of that self-reflection in a kind of, not in a kind of, I'm awful, I'm just the worst, I hate myself kind of way, but in a kind of, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Just any kind of introspection. There's not much there. You like Wuthering Heights just mostly because you weren't expecting the ghost. Fair enough. I mean, really? There's got to be a ghost in it somewhere. I mean, it's bleak and on a moor and dramatic. So yeah, but that's fair enough. It doesn't help when all the main characters are utter jerks. No. You like Wuthering Heights, but you read it when you were 7. This is the thing. Wuthering Heights, absolutely, to me, reads like teen angst drama. And I think she was in her teens when she wrote it, actually.
I've never read it.
She might have been. You're not missing out.
No, I can tell that's why I'm staying silent on this one. I have nothing to input.
You thought you were going to read a Jane Eyre kind of book, was surprised. Yeah. But yeah, it absolutely just feels like the kind of book one writes when one is a teenager and goes, oh, this is my magnum opus, this is amazing, it's wonderful, and then you read it back as an adult and you're like, oh my god, I'm so cringeworthy. Which I kind of love the fact that exists.
I mean, it still exists now.
Yeah. But yeah. No. But I do like it when authors are somewhat taking the mick out of themselves.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other authors who do that.
I mean, I don't. Well, I'm trying to think. I guess what other books I've read where kind of the protagonist / narrator is an author self-insert to some degree. And kind of the first one that jumps to the top of my mind would be John Dies at the End, or the John and Dave and Amy series, which are, again, sort of, it's like everything contained in this book is absolute truth and an absolute fact. It really, really happened. Goes on to describe the most absurd supernatural sequence of events, and then at the end, kind of will give you the caveat of, yeah, I said it was true, but you do also have to understand that I'm writing this story to be entertaining. So I've probably stretched the truth a little bit, and that's kind of how these things tend to go.
Moby Dick. Yes. No. Moby Dick is just Herman Melville going, ooh, so I read a Wikipedia article about whales. I'm going to tell you stuff about whales. That's just, yeah. You ended up finding Wuthering Heights a bit funny. my people. And Angeline, I tried to read Wuthering Heights when you were about 14, just didn't care to remember. Yeah, thank you. I read it for the first time when I was about 14 as well, and I was just like, I meant to care about these characters. They're making all the stupid decisions. And it's just like, I don't know. And it's just, including all the times people got attacked by dogs, which is a surprising amount of time, it almost became slapstick. Yeah. I mean, it feels like a bit of a, it just feels like a melodrama. It feels like, I tell you what it feels like. It feels like an episode of EastEnders, but set on a more,
I can see now why it's
Victorian
popular.
times, I guess. Yeah. You feel like you read it too late. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like everybody can get something out of Wuthering Heights. It's just,
I mean, in the spirit of Billy Topaz McGonagall, enjoy it how you want to enjoy it.
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not bad literature or anything. It just feels very, very over the top. You might have to be young and deeply in puppy love and angsty. Yes, I think all of the above, and want to sort of, if you're wanting a man of any kind, you have to want like that rugged, traipsing across the moor. Basically, Heathcliff. Anyone who has a crush on anyone like Heathcliff will love Wuthering Heights. Anyone who doesn't, it's just, yeah. It's
not like those Austen fans who will love Mr. Darcy.
Mr. Darcy. Okay, I will defend the fact that Mr. Darcy is actually a decent character.
I've also
Jane
not
Austen,
read.
Well, no, because she actually writes him. He's actually really quite respectful.
Yeah.
Like, he backs off as well. He's not one of the typical male characters in a lot of fiction that are just like, I must pursue you, and then you will fall in love with me. Darcy's like, okay, sorry, my bad. I'll just go. I'll be over here. Okay, bye. Just Kate Bush singing in the distance. Yes, I was going to bring that up. It's just like, that song, perfect for Wuthering Heights, obviously, because it is about Wuthering Heights, but like, that is the vibe. That is entirely the vibe. Over the top, bit wacky. No one knows what's going on. Did Sam just compare Mr. Darcy to Heathcliff? Yeah. This was a mistake.
I pulled the pin on that grenade and I threw. I knew what I was doing. I did not know what I was doing.
Darcy is an emotionally constipated ass. This is true, but at least he is respectful. Like, there are as I say, there are so many male characters in literature and media in general who are like that, but also really kind of aggressive romantically, and just like, I must pursue the person I like. And he's not like that. And also, Austen, I need to get back and to reading Austen. Austen was another author who absolutely understood societal airs and graces and the hypocrisy of a lot of it. So I think if you read Austen with a little bit of the pinch of salt that you would, for example, read Jerome K. Jerome or a lot of other, or Dickens, for example, or Woodhouse, any kind of English author who is commenting on society in a very tongue-in-cheek way, I feel like you can read that into Austen, and therefore the characters are either a little bit caricaturish, or you've got to take what they're doing with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
I think. He does get a few points of respect. Yeah, there we go. I'm not saying he's the ideal gentleman, but I'm saying that he is at least a lot more respectful than... Yeah. I mean, Jane Eyre, there we go. Another good example of a completely great, fantastic. Yes.
I remember that we read it in English Lit. I do not remember what we had to say about it.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh, I can tell. No, don't worry about that. Yeah.
Good. I feel like a few of these books are got anything not about romance. I mean, if anything that's tongue-in-cheek in English, just read Woodhouse. Oh, yes. Go.
William Hope Hodgson.
Is he English?
I think so.
Oh, okay. I thought it was American for some reason. I just wasn't aware.
Actually, I will check quickly what
Well, Wuthering Heights isn't about romance at all. It's about a bunch of awful people being horribly abusive to each other. Yes, but it pretends to be romance.
I don't actually know this. Key figure in British weird fiction. There you go. Renowned for tales of horror and adventure set at sea, as well as his post-apocalyptic fantasy novel, The Nightland. Ooh, not read that.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
Jane Eyre is indeed really awful from a romance standpoint. Yes, absolutely.
Fair.
Sorry, carry on.
No, that's right. So I've mentioned this a few times now. Lucy got me this for Christmas, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a collection of short stories by William Hope Hodgson, who I think I'd heard his name before. You probably mentioned it, and then you picked this up for me. It's really good. Like,
it is very good.
Genuinely, really, really good stuff that I've properly enjoyed. I know in the past I'd talked about it and been like, there's been a number of ghost stories and spooky stories, horror things that I've read where it's like, I like the concept. I found the execution a little dry or a little dull sometimes, and like, yeah, that's cool. You've got a ghost. And the ghost just kind of haunts people a bit, and then it rocks up and kills them. And this does horror and weird fiction very differently and extremely well, and it feels very modern.
It really does.
Yeah. Like,
it's
and
for those of you who are curious, there will be a collection of William Hope Hodgson stories on Ye Old Bandcamp.
Indeed.
Hopefully by the end of this week.
Cool. Because like for that because it says like he's done a lot of nautical stuff. He was a sailor. Renowned for tales of horror and adventure at sea, as well as post-apocalypse stuff. There's in this there's a lot of like horror stories set at sea, and so I've read like a bunch of those, and Lucy's been editing them, and that's what's going up on the next Bandcamp collection, which as you say should be up hopefully by the end of the week. If you're subscribed, look forward to that. If you're not subscribed, look forward to that in a month, or consider subscribing. I don't know, which I don't know how much of the back catalogue that gets you.
Subscribing, all of it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I figured
all of the things we've ever put on Bandcamp.
Oh right, I was under the impression that like you got some but not all. Oh okay, cool.
Nope.
But yeah, I've really enjoyed reading those, and there's some other good ones in here as well. He has like a recurring character who is not sea stuff, called Karnaki, who is more of like a supernatural Sherlock Holmes who kind of gets called in to investigate weird goings on, and then sort of plays a bit of phasmophobia, diagnoses the scene, determines what ghost is present or what kind of spiritual circumstances are taking place, and then tries to remove the ghost. And I think
get out of here.
Leave out some, just like open the door, leave some treats outside, step back, don't make eye contact, and it will just go slam, door shut, ghost gone. A bit of that. Like the couple of those I've read so far also very enjoyable. So look forward to more of those collections coming in future. So highly recommended. The first story in this book starts off, it's literally
just wham straight into it.
Like second paragraph, we're straight into the action. And it sort of doesn't really let up from there to the end, and it's good. And again, it's not just like there's a lot in there in like the blurb about him and his writing that has to mention Lovecraft, because if you're talking about weird fiction of that era, you have to mention Lovecraft, and either Lovecraft loved his work and endorsed it highly, or was said to inspire Lovecraft or inspired by it and all that. And it's like, okay, sure, cool, but he actually, I feel, has better, more interesting for me descriptions of things, and a lot less racism. So that's good. Shouldn't need saying, but we need to say that.
Let's have less racism in books, shall we? That's a great idea.
Let's try. Sea horror is your actual nightmare, but the supernatural PR stuff sounds fun. Cool. Yeah, that's fair.
Any biblical angels?
No.
Don't think so. Not that many eyes.
No.
Wings.
Yeah. But yeah, been enjoying that, and look forward to it.
Basically, Sam and I are slowly buying up all of the. So the British Library have a collection of ghost stories, and my God, it's like all of these books look incredible, as Sam has shown.
Look at this! Look at this horse. This horse is amazing.
This horse is amazing. It's got a skull for a face.
Look at this seagull.
The seagull is haunted and eating a jawbone. But yeah, they've got loads and loads of collections of ghost stories, and it's just.
Ray Tracer, thank you very much.
Hello, welcome in. Thank you very much. Yeah, they've got some incredible selections. So, yeah, just if they've also got a load of crime selections as well. They've just got big old collections of stuff that are just they're so good. There's like one I'd love to get. I mean, all of them I think want to get at some point. But Tales of the Botanical Weird, and it's like, ooh, spooky plants, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all sorts. But yeah, really, really good stuff. Ooh, Arian.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah, have a look.
Yeah.
I think they're online. I'm not totally sure. I assume they probably would be.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I browsed them online before.
Just been bitten again.
Oh no.
I don't know why what.
There's
particularly aggressive
bugs
mozzies around.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should probably close my windows a bit.
Yeah.
Should we go to a break?
I guess we should, yeah.
Do the things.
Yeah.
And the stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna take a break, which means break for us and break for you. I was zoned out for a bit. We just heard spooky plants. Ooh, yeah. As just to catch you up, the British Library has a whole series of a huge collection called Tales of the Weird. British Library Tales of the Weird. And yeah, so this is but one of them, but they have, as Lucy was saying, like a sort of botanical one, like Botanical Weird. So that will have stories about spooky plants. And basically what we want to do is collect as many of these as possible. Find the stories in there that are like out of copyright, and then read them. Oh right, you're getting the red lights on. What?
I'm not.
You just glowed red for a second.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Oh.
Are you opening portals to hell?
No, maybe.
Okay.
I have found this. Right. So this, I will put this in chat.
You're giving away all our source material.
Yeah. Go nuts, chat. As I say, there are a lot, and they all look great. And yeah. Polar horrors. There's a polar. Okay, I should stop looking at this now.
So essentially, if you want like the future reading list that we have for this channel, it's probably there. That's where I guess a large chunk of it's going to come from.
The one I really wanted to get: Spectral Sounds, Unquiet Tales of the Acoustic Weird.
Oh, that's
that's up my alley.
Yeah.
No portal shaming.
Agreed. But yeah, we are going to take a break. So if I can find the right place to be clicking, yeah, we're going to go and do that. So. Yeah, like the cover art, and a lot of them are illustrated inside as well. So like, I don't know how well because I've covered up my camera. There we go. I've like illustrations inside as well. I just keep punching the mic. I do apologise. Is this having any?
Yeah, that's alright. It's like Joey the other day, rubbing his face all over the mic. It's like, this is my new best friend. Oh yeah, and Joey is good.
Yes, he is doing so much better. Yeah, this is from the Cornish Horrors one. Oh, let's get it the right way.
Nice.
Yeah,
that would look amazing as a full collection. That's the dream.
Yeah, I mean,
prettiest bookshelf you ever did see.
Mine always end up a little bit dog-eared and threadbare because that's unfortunately just how books end up in my hands. But yes.
Oh, thanks, Lady Mephistopheles.
Oh, cheers. Yes, cool. Well, that should actually, when we go over to it, I still have that information down at the bottom, but actually, yeah, I'll pin that now anyway, just so there we go. Yeah, we're going to take a break. So, get up, stand up, and so on and so forth. Do your stretches, rotate those fluids and whatnot, and we will see you back here in about 5 minutes or so. See you in a bit, friends.
Bye.